Teach me about the Great Lakes. Teach me about the Great Lakes. Welcome back to Teach Me About the Great Lakes, a twice monthly podcast in which I, a Great Lakes novice, ask people who are smarter and harder working than I am to teach me all about the Great Lakes. My name is Stuart Carlton, and I know a lot about getting 40% of the way into campus on your bike and deciding you should have wore the long undies today. But I don't know a lot about the Great Lakes. And that's the point of this here show. But this is a very special, the one, the only Lakies 2025. That's right. It is our annual celebration of all of the great works in the Great Lakes. It's the old double G there. Mm-hmm. We're lucky to be joined today by a couple of our good friends. Number one, you know her, you love her, but not as much as she loves the lakes. Megan Gunn.
Hi, Stuart.
Hello, Megan, the lake lover Gunn, aquatic
education associate.
Also joined today by Natty S, as in Super Morrison. What's up, Natty?
Hey, Stuart.
You know, I was thinking you are no longer quite so new as an employee. You've been here for almost a year now. You may not know that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, almost a year.
I can't believe that. Can't be right.
I mean, it can't be right in the sense that, boy, these suckers rocket by.
But
That's true. But I just want to say it's just a pleasure to be here. It's just a magical night, and it's a pleasure to be here.
I wish you had told me you were going to wear a tux. I would have dressed better.
Yeah, it does not fit, as you can tell.
Well,
the cummerbund is
what does anymore?
Where is the cummerbund?
It's right above the cummerbund.
The cummerbund and the cummerbutt. Yeah,
I'm wearing my official Teach Me About the Great Lakes. Not my logo tee, which you can order at the secret store that I can't tell you the location of. But it does exist.
What does it say?
But this is my Eat Goby Dogs.
From the side, because I can only see part of it. It looked like it said, "Eat my dog."
Eat my dog. Eat my dog.
Kind of the Bart Simpson analog to that. The original line was not "Eat my shorts." It was "Eat my dog."
Yeah, my dog's dead, Nettie. Anyway, this is the Lakies. So the Lakies, as you know, is quite possibly not the least prestigious podcast-related Great Lakes award that there are. And so what we do is every year we have a series of, we ask people for nominations in a series of categories. And we use our extensive Great Lake knowledge and the listener nominations to come up with winners across the categories. Now, the point, I think it's important to say, the point of this is not exactly to say that we know the best stuff and we are selecting the best stuff, but it's more a celebration, right? And on top of that, it's an award ceremony in the open, which means you'll hear us talking over what we think should win or maybe negotiating or trading off or whatever, because award ceremonies are fundamentally kind of stupid.
Yeah.
And then when we do them, they're especially stupid because there's so much great stuff out there, but there's only one Lakey, right? Yeah. And so we fully recognize that. And so we'll take it in that spirit. Not that we are the arbiters of quality, although I am. But I'm not actually. But we are here to share all of this great work. And with that, let's jump right in.
I'm ready.
That's the envelope. I got it from
I've never been as prepared as I am this year.
You've never been as prepared. Yeah. All right. The first category is the science communication of the year. Now, the idea behind the science communication of the year is this is more of a one-off thing rather than an ongoing series, is the idea of science communication of the year. And there were a lot of cool science programs this year, science communication bits this year, actually. So I think there's a lot of great things you could have picked, but only one can win a Lakey. Anybody want to start? Natty, what was your favorite piece of science communication you came across this year?
When looking through these, I have to admit, I did see a familiar name, somebody whose work I'm familiar with, and so I maybe felt a little biased, but I did review all of the nominations, well into the night. And my favorite was making fish leather with Wisconsin Sea Grant, a video produced by Wisconsin Sea Grant and specifically Bonnie Willison.
Bonnie Willison.
An absolute, the GOAT of video within the Sea Grant network.
Lakey Award winning Bonnie Willison, actually.
Previous Lakey Award winner?
Yes. Lakey Award winner for Introduced, a podcast they did on invasives, and also The Water We Swim In. Is that what it's called? That was another great podcast. Bonnie does a lot of great work.
She does. She is really, the way that she is able to tell stories, specifically the stories of the different work done by specialists throughout the program, to really give it a look and a feel, both visually and just emotionally, what she does with sound, and she really is just a consummate professional. Had to give it to Bonnie.
All right, so there's one option is fish leather video.
Yeah.
Yes. Video. video by our friends at Wisconsin Sea Grant. Also, by the way, our nominations are very Wisconsin and Michigan Sea Grant heavy. I would like to point this out.
That's where our friends are that submit all the nominations.
I guess. I would like to comment about the staff at Illinois. We need to do some in-reach.
No. We don't want to. I mean,
that's the thing.
We're taking ourselves out of the running.
That is the thing. Unless, No, we try not to focus on. The one thing I was told when we started this by our now former director, Thomas Hook, was, you can do a podcast, but don't make it all Sea Grant is awesome, blah, 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 blah. And so, of course, we're awesome.
Yeah.
We win all the Lakies, but we're not even nominated. Megan, what you have?
Okay, so I really like the fish leather one also, but I also really like the All Too Clear film. It talks about going deep diving into the Great Lakes, and it's showing underwater footage and revealing how the invasive mussels have turned all of the what used to be vast desert land into just mussel fields. And it shows how things have changed and why restoring the balance matters. It was really incredible.
That is. And we've been seeing them for a few years now. They've been working on that film. That's the people at Inspired Planet. And they were at IAGLR a few years ago. I think in Toronto I first saw some of their footage. And then I think they were there again in what's the little joint north of Detroit? Windsor. Where I went to the casino where they carded me.
Yeah.
Despite being well into my 40s. It was super exciting. So love Windsor. Thank you.
They're going to be premiering. They've been doing, you can watch it free in Canada, but they are going to have a documentary screening in Michigan. It would be cool to bring them to this campus if possible.
It would.
Yeah.
If only we knew the heads of the Great Lakes Science Initiative.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, my nomination is actually the same people. Yvonne Dreybert, I'm not sure, and Zach Melnick. But they also had this underwater live stream from the freshwater Everest, they call it, or Superior Shoal. And so Superior Shoal is this huge underwater mountain. It's in the middle of Lake Superior. It's 40 or 50 miles from the nearest coastline. It's in Canadian waters. But it's so big that at the highest point, it's only 21 feet below the surface of the water. And so there are some shipwrecks there potentially. A legend says that the Edmund Fitzgerald might have hit that and sunk. I'm not sure. But so they did a live stream. They used some of that same underwater drone technology. And this is, you can see it on YouTube. It's about an hour and a half long or so. And they're zooming around there. You're looking at fish and everything. And they actually got a professor there with them, Dr. Michael Rennie. And he was sort of reviewing the fish and stuff as they went over it. And they were hoping to see something kind of cool. They wanted a shipwreck, let's be honest. They didn't get a shipwreck. Everybody wants a shipwreck. But they saw all these different fish out there in the environment. That was awesome. And they saw at one point there are magnetic anomalies introduced because of the mountain. And so one day I wrote down this quote, "North ain't north at the moment." And that's fine when you're in a freshwater drone. But I'm not so sure about otherwise. So what I love about this is it's a great example of using new technology, both in terms of the drones and the streaming, for a really old idea. A lot of people got into this field because of Jacques Cousteau, or if you're a little bit younger, maybe because of Shark Week, which I courted my very wife watching Shark Week in my dorm room. It was all Shark Week and Led Zeppelin on vinyl. And
did you see if they matched up at all? If you played,
oh, right. Yeah, if you put Shark Week with Led Zeppelin.
Exactly, yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, missed opportunity.
Yep.
I guess she's your wife now. So.
You can't go back to college. Yeah. I mean, you can, but it'd be kind of lame. Anyway, and so I really love that for that reason, because this is in that tradition, right? This is an old idea with new technology introduced and a new way of doing it. And we've done some live streaming with Ask Dr. Fish, and it's really challenging. And they did a nice pro job. So I really liked that from those same people. Other things that I thought before we get there, other things that I saw that were worth mentioning, Michigan Sea Grant, they have a cool new poster. They have a lamprey poster.
Yeah.
The lamprey poster is great.
Yeah, they always have posters.
Yeah.
Why don't we have posters?
We just haven't figured out the technology yet.
Okay.
Yeah. We just, one day.
Well, I just moved in, so listeners, I just moved into a new office related to the fact that Thomas is our former director. And I've got this wall right here. I'm looking at it that needs a lot
cool
of posters.
Poster.
Yeah, so I actually literally called our friend Geneva today. I was like, wait a minute. As I was reviewing the Lakies stuff, I was like, I need a poster. I need a bigger one.
I've got some cool posters for you.
I want to see if I can get a custom run large poster from Michigan Sea Grant.
Okay.
One of those fathead posters?
Yeah, right. Yeah, no.
You put it across the whole thing?
I mean, maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll pay for it. But anyway,
Yeah.
I want to see if I have that kind of juice.
Yeah.
Sad thing is now that I mention it on here, though, and I probably don't, so the listeners are going to write in. Anyway, all right. And the Great Lakes Commission also has a data dashboard. It's pretty cool. It's a draft still on agriculture, climate, and water use in the Great Lakes. And
That's cool.
Those are the issues. Agriculture, water use, and climate. That and development are the issues.
The big three.
Yep. All right. Well, we each have a strong nomination in this. And I feel like since we have two from the All Too Clear people from Inspired Planet, I feel like we could probably go with one of those. As much as we love past Lakey Award winner, multiple time Teach Me About the Great Lakes Gasmani.
And it was really good.
It was really good. I don't know. So what do we want to do? I think...
Let's go with the All Too Clear people.
Yeah,
Inspired
but
Planet.
we got to pick one.
Oh,
they
one
have
of
two
them?
products.
Okay, well, I didn't watch Freshwater Everest. I only watched
All right, here's what you do.
All Too Clear.
You have a large screen TV?
I do.
All right, go home, put it on your large screen TV on YouTube. Sit back, relax, however it is that you relax. All right? Put that sucker on and watch Superior Shoal Underwater Mountain, which I, of course, knew all about.
And then you want us to just like,
and then
we'll come back and we'll make the decision?
No, and then you'll come in and say, Stuart, you were right. All Too Clear, of course, a critical documentary, but there are a lot of great documentaries.
Yes.
There's only one underwater live stream from the Freshwater Everest. And so that's why I think that should be our Lakey winner this year.
I'm with it.
Sure.
All right.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to Yvonne Drebert. Boy, we should have asked for a little pronunciation guide on that one. And Zach Melnick for the really awesome job and the really awesome work on All Too Clear. And we spoke in Toronto about getting them on the show. I think it's time.
Yeah, it's time.
Excellent. Page 2.
Circling back in the new year.
Outreach program of the year. The idea here is this is something that is takes place over multiple events, multiple days. It's an ongoing program. A lot of cool stuff here. Megan, why don't you start this time?
I think the one I'm going to choose is from our friends at Michigan Sea Grant. I mean, I love things that involve family members. Like, I love youth stuff, but also involving family members and generational stuff. Their Riverside Lake Sturgeon release seems like an incredible program. And it was in the Saginaw Bay area, and the public got to learn and meet the juvenile lake sturgeon, and then they got to release them back into the water. And so, like, the toddlers and the grandparents got to scoop the baby lake sturgeon up in a little bucket and then release them into the river. And so this is something that they're trying to do every year. And there are some families that come back every year and participate in that. But I thought that was really amazing.
Yeah, that is really. So every year they're doing this with these little lake sturgeon.
Yeah.
That is super fun. And have you seen young baby lake sturgeon?
I have.
Super cute.
They're adorable.
Super cute. Oh, yeah. You seen a lake sturgeon now?
Kiss them on their little noses.
You
Boop.
what?
No, I did. I want to.
Oh, I was like, never mind. Hold on.
No, zoonotic disease. Don't kiss animals in their faces.
What about dogs?
Diseases.
Well, Stuart,
boy.
perhaps is that what happened to your dog? I'm so sorry. Look. I'm just trying to.
No,
help.
she
I'm
died.
trying to help you process the grief here.
Yeah,
I'm trying to understand.
it's okay. It was 4 or 5 years ago.
Well, which one was it? 4 or 5?
What was your nomination, Natty?
So the outreach program.
The story keeps changing, doesn't it?
Yeah. Which story? Mine? Or
No,
yours?
mine about the.
Yeah.
What you got?
So the one that I found to be the most that spoke to me was the 100% Great Lakes Fish Pledge. So this is a binational outreach program that invites commercial fish processors, aquaculture producers, related companies across 8 U.S. states. That's a lot.
It's a big,
8 U.S. states. And 2 Canadian provinces to publicly commit to fully utilizing every fish they catch, raise, or handle by the end of 2025. This has recruited dozens of signatories. And let's see, it's in 2025, the pledge and the broader 100% Great Lakes Fish Initiative were recognized internationally as a model for reducing food loss and creating circular, place-based value chains. And, in my mind, I feel like as somebody who struggles with I love to eat fish, I love delicious fish, and when I see a fish and it's caught, I feel terrible about myself. So I am with somebody who grapples with that back and forth. I think certainly the most a reasonable or effective or moral thing to do in those situations is to not be wasteful and to not have to eliminate more species than we must in my pursuit for delicious fish. It is crazy how the split in me right now.
Yeah.
I truly.
Is that fish specific? Your split, or like so you're gonna go out and get a burger?
Oh yeah. Here's the thing, if I'm being real, like I don't think that I can think of an ethical reason to consume an animal, but I 100% am not a vegetarian.
Yeah.
But it's
Maybe you should think about being a vegetarian.
Sure, I think about it all the time, and then I'm like, what? Oh, you gotta. What kind of Whoppers you guys got here or whatever? And if somebody's like, you shouldn't eat your meat, I'm like, absolutely not. I couldn't. I mean, not that I wouldn't do that, but the second I would. There was one day, I'm gonna tell this story, but Megan Gunn, with whom I share an office with,
The lake lover herself.
and truly, it's a lovely office. Couldn't imagine a better office mate, better colleague. One day came in with a little fish in a bucket that she had caught.
Oh, I remember that.
Did you eat it?
I did not. She had a fish in a bucket, and I thought, oh my gosh, look at this little fish. And as I was looking at it and learning about this fish in this bucket, I also learned that fish would then be later euthanized so that it could be used as a teaching tool.
Yeah.
And she said, so it was in that bucket, and I went, oh. And she said, she goes, I'm going to do that in a minute, but I'll be right back. I have to go to a meeting. And she put the fish down on the table in the bucket, and I was just basically it was like dead man walking in that moment.
I'm so
and
sorry.
I sat there trying to type, and I could hear it just sort of swimming around, looking over my shoulder, it not knowing what was going to happen, and I just didn't know what to do. So I just went out and got in my car and waited until the moment was over.
I'm so sorry, Daddy.
No. And again, I eat fish. This is the dumb, crazy thing about it. So what I'm saying is that, like, that feeling in me, we're part of a food chain, we're part of a food web. You know, if I'm going to eat fish, if people are going to produce fish, I think it is in the best interest of humanity and morality and general environmental consciousness to try to make a pledge to be 100% efficient if possible. That is why I voted for that. You can cut that out if you need to.
No, that's good. And so I think what you're getting at is there's a lot of complexity involved. I mean, certainly in like our dietary decisions. I think a lot of times we don't make decisions, right? Or we just default to what's easy. But what I love about the 100% Clean Fish Initiative is what you're saying. But what I love about it as a Lakey nominee is it points to the complexity of many Great Lakes issues, right? Is it's binational, it's across 8 different states. It's working on on aspects of a really complicated issue. Because the one thing that's become really evident to me in the at this point 8 years I've been here is like the Great Lakes are big in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of big challenges, and those big challenges require big interdisciplinary, international solutions, right? I hesitate to use solutions because I don't think we solve problems, but to address them, it's going to take that kind of cooperation. And so that's what I really love about the Fish Initiative.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think I'm going to vote for that too. But I did want to mention my Sea Grant Academy classmate, Chris Stepanuck at the University of Vermont, Lake Champlain Sea Grant. Did a really amazing program on reducing salt use, using salt to fight off ice on campus there. And so if you don't know, road salt is a big problem, or just salt in general is a big problem. It goes into the lakes and changes the water chemistry there. In addition to the wear and tear it causes on my bike that I ride in and whatever, right? And so she worked across campus with custodians and did a bunch of workshops and trainings. They did them in 5 different languages: English, French, Vietnamese, Chinese, Nepali. Yeah, and they released videos. You can check them out on YouTube. We'll link to them in the show notes. With this cool custodian guy, right? Like a great video requires a great kind of protagonist. And this guy, he does it in English and French. I think those are the 2 languages he does. But it's these neat videos on this really important issue. And so that's something they've started to do across campus. But, it's applicable beyond just the campus. And what I really love about that is that sort of multilingual approach that they took. We're in an era right now where there's a lot of concern about how we invest our resources in serving different groups. And there's, without going into details that would not be appropriate to go into, there's a lot of thought about that right now. But what I love about this video series is that it shows the importance of meeting people where they are. Because if your custodial staff speaks 5 different languages and you're only trying to reach them in English, then you're not being effective communicators. And so this shows the importance of that, I think, regardless of how you feel on some of the other issues. Meeting your audience where they are is critical science communication. And so this work on a very important issue, I think, is a great example of why that is important. And so my Lakey nomination goes to Dr. Chris Stepanuk at Lake Champlain Sea Grant. But I think I'm with you, Natty. I think we want to go big. We want to go bi-national.
Yeah.
We want to go 100% fish initiative.
100%.
100%.
I'm 100%.
That's my favorite. Is in like if you see like in a marketing like for a product, it'll be like it's 100% sustainable. Like it's like how could you know that something is 100%? But here's one where I know because it is 100% because it's clearly outlined. I love it. I love that I chose the winner. It feels like I won in some ways.
Does it? Yeah.
Congratulations.
All right. Yeah, Natty, nice work, man.
Thank you, dude. Honestly, thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Great Lake news event.
Wait, where's the envelope?
And right now, since it's the Great Lakes news, of course, we will put in our Great Lakes news theme song. And now it's time for the Great Lakes news. Here's your host, Stuart Carlton. Thank you for that, Stuart. Natty, what is your nomination for the Great Lakes news event of the year?
It's the story that made me cry. Specifically, the Great Lakes whitefish population decline. Yeah. This is a story that was published in Bridge magazine, I believe it was called. And it was written by Kelly House, which is an excellent name, by the way. But it's one of the best pieces of scientific reporting that I've ever heard or ever read. It is also a devastating story, and just filled with so much emotion. It focuses on it takes the story of a Great Lakes fisherman named Richard Boda, who fishes for whitefish in Lake Michigan. It starts off with him talking about a logbook that he keeps that he intended to give to his children one day when they took over the business. He's a member of the Chippewa Indians. He's a third-generation commercial fisherman. He is dealing with the overfishing and the sort of decline of the whitefish population. And it just weaves in so much human story and emotion, and just so many issues, concerning environmental issues, impact to industry, impact to small businesses, what it does to families, what it does to to people being able to earn their well-being, to food chain and supply chain stuff. It is a fantastic read. We had several nominations for this, and I just could not ignore it. This was absolutely my favorite.
Yeah, it's a well-written story, and it's an important one. So lake whitefish, it's a native to the Great Lakes species that has been the cornerstone of Great Lakes commercial fisheries in a lot of places, and really vital resource for a lot of indigenous communities. Where they still fish it. And it's also a pretty important link in the food web because what it does is it transfers water. It transfers energy from the bottom of the lake into the upper water column, right? A lot of ways you can think about different parts of the food web is by transferring energy from one part to another. And so that's
crazy.
Yeah, that's part of what they serve is that function. And it helps
the fish or the fishing or
the fish.
And then the act of fishing.
Well, no, they transfer energy by eating. Yeah. It's like you can think about hurricanes as part of their job is they're moving energy through the atmosphere, right? And the same here is like when you think about food chain and food web dynamics, you're basically, your primary producers make energy, right? That's your plants or your algae or whatever. And then that energy needs to make its way up through the food chain. And it does that, I'm sorry to say, Natty, by eating fish.
That's fine.
And so the lake whitefish are important there. But their populations have really been crashing lately or because of the mussels. And so
up to 90% since the 90s.
Yep. Yeah. And that's why that All Too Clear documentary, and that's why that's what that's all about. It's like the lake, like Lake Michigan now, if you go, it looks like the places I used to live in Florida. With this clear blue water, which is really pretty, but it's not very productive. There's not a lot of that. And so that's been a big part of the problem with the whitefish population.
Interesting. I also am just finding out that when it's clear water, that means that's not always so good.
Yeah, no, not here. Lake Michigan needs to be darker.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so that came to a head this year because there was a new stock assessment models, essentially is what it was, showing that revising sort of the way we looked at it. And it turns out that like the whitefish populations are really in trouble. And for all of the reasons you talk about, it's really important. And that story, you're right, did a really nice job of, that's an old journalism and science writing technique. You take the particular and use it to illustrate the general, right?
Absolutely.
And they did a nice job there.
Yeah, fantastic. A fantastic piece of work.
Yeah, that was my nominee as well. Megan, how about you?
That was mine also. And I think that what was the scariest to me is that after they've done all this modeling, that they said, like, if we don't do something bold, the whitefish population could vanish within a decade.
Yeah.
Like, that is
Yep.
too soon.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. And so
unanimous choice then.
unanimous choice then. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, declining whitefish population.
Well, I mean,
you're the Great Lakes
congratulations
News.
to reporting on it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Other ones worth mentioning. Boy, a lot of people mentioned. You might not know this, listener, but 2025 was the 50th anniversary of the crash of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Boy, was it ever.
Not the song, but the actual wreck.
Ooh, when did the song come out?
I don't know. Hold on. Maybe we'll celebrate it then.
1976.
I almost said 74, but that wouldn't have made a lot of sense. On account of it being the 50th anniversary.
Math just isn't math.
The math doesn't work out there. And the other one that I thought is in the last year or so, there's been a kind of a radical reimagining of how science funding works in the Great Lakes and beyond. And I think that is an important news story that is worth focusing on.
Yes. I agree.
Yes.
I want to choose my words carefully here.
Just leave it at yes, I agree. All right, next up. Great Lakes research finding.
Oh, yeah.
Research finding of the...
I'm torn.
You're torn.
I'm torn between...
Like Natalie Imbruglia.
Yes. I don't understand that reference, but I'm
It was
sure.
a music video in the 90s.
So I was torn, but I think that I'm going to go with, just because it sounds like fun, the ship goo discovery.
Oh, I love it.
Wait, tell me this one.
The ship goo. So the research vessel Blue Heron found a greasy substance that was hiding in the rudder shaft. They were actually new microbes. And I thought that was so neat. Just like goo is, ugh. But these organisms, like they'll go and they'll corrode the metal and they produce methane. And it could be a biofuel in the future. Who knows? But you can discover some really cool things in the messiest of places.
Yeah, you could say it might be a biofuel, but really it's just cool to find a species in your ship goo. Right?
Yeah, in your goo. Yeah.
At that same age we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
My dorm room definitely had some goo that probably had new species. That was a solid one. I wrote that down too. Dorm room goo there's definitely species in dorm room goo.
Yes.
Yeah. I had that as a runner up. For me, I had this one paper on sea lamprey control reduction. So this was a big deal. So one of the original invasives that we were worried about in the Great Lakes is the sea lamprey, which got introduced by ship ballast water, I think. You can read all about that in Death and the Great Lakes, which I think is a book. I don't remember the name of the author, though. And so they use a lampricide to each year. They well, sorry, Natty, but they kill the lampreys. And
you don't have to.
they're an invasive. They're a parasitic fish, right? They're often called the vampires of the Great Lakes, which would be fun for a Halloween episode. But they kill native species like trout and whitefish also. And they caused a big fishery collapse in the mid 20th century. And so it's just like this nonstop control program, and that stopped during COVID-19 or slowed down during COVID-19. And we knew this was a problem. And so this year, finally, there was a paper published in Fisheries Magazine written by Benjamin Mary Quay and others. Benjamin is out of the USGS Great Lakes Science Center, Hammond Bay Biological Station. That's in Millersburg, Michigan. And what I like about this paper is it's sort of a couple things. One, it shows the really important work that people at the USGS Great Lakes Science Center are doing. And then on top of that, it's another thing it shows. I really like these things that sort of help illustrate how complicated the Great Lakes are, right? So here that we have this super intensive effort every year to control lamprey that were introduced by us so that they don't cause fishery collapses or population collapses of these other fishes. And it's completely just bananas that we have to do this every year, but we do. And this paper shows that we do, or else what happens? And so to me, it shows the complicated relationship that we have with this complicated resource. And so I really like that. So that is my nominee.
Excellent. I only speak when prompted.
Natty.
Yes. Sorry. I also had chosen. So, well, I guess I'm going back and forth here because I'm torn here. I'm torn. I loved the.
She's already torn. So
yeah, yeah. I'm torn too. I'm rip torn.
Rip torn.
I'm rip torn. R.I.P. Rip torn. Rip. R.I. Rip torn. Oh, got to keep that in.
That's the cold right there.
I also loved the ship goo story, and I think the only other part that I'll mention about the ship goo story that I like so much is the name of it, which is all one word, Ship Goo 001, which looks like an AOL Instant Messenger.
Yeah,
right?
That was mine. Right?
Yeah, Ship Goo 01.
Yeah, we're sharing Natalie and Brugler videos with each other on.
I don't think that you could share videos on AOL Instant Messenger.
I
mean, unless you had what's the?
I was actually
Did you have really fast internet? Were you one of those rich kids?
No. But so our age is like the one where like all this stuff is like the fulcrum of all this, right? So I was an ICQ guy, which was before AOL Instant Messenger came out. It was ICQ, and you had like a little number. Like you didn't even have a username. I don't think you just had.
Oh, so it was just like a social security number.
Yeah, exactly. Except it was your ICQ number, and then would go ow every time you get a message.
Was that the only sound that I could do?
That was the one I used. I don't know. Yeah.
That must have been like some panic. If it's so cute, but it's also like.
All right, what's your other story? We're good. So you like this goo? Love a good goo.
I love a good goo. I love the story of it. I also voted for the microplastics in Lake Erie story. Or
that was
findings.
what I was torn.
Tell me
with.
about this one.
So it's a bummer. It's not as fun as ship goo. That's what I'll say. But I think that so many people, obviously microplastics were at the forefront of a lot of discussions in the scientific community. I think because the more that we find out about it, the more we're like, it's daunting, concerning. And they did a recent sampling. This was actually performed by Sherry A. Mason, or Sam. I think it says Sherry. Dr. Sherry A. Sam Mason. It's a lot of, I don't know which, I'll say Dr. Mason, had led a recent.
When you're in a hole,
just go for doctor.
Find yourself digging. Just stop digging. Dr. Mason, yeah.
Dr. Mason led a sampling effort in Lake Erie and found that there was nearly a 22x increase in abundance across 5 states over the past 30 years. And, it's just, we're finding out not only like how much microplastics are there, but how small the micro in the microplastics, the micro aspect of it keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And I feel like this was just the concept of microplastics was, like I said, just at the forefront of everybody's mind. It is a conversation that we will probably continue to be having in the years to come as we're potentially dealing with the fallout of what's happening, what they're causing, what health problems are contributing to in our species, in our drinking water. So for that, I found this one. And this was also nominated several times.
Yeah.
So I will say that just to be independent, unique, I will say that this one is my nomination.
Okay.
This was the one that I was torn with.
You were torn with that one.
Well, yeah, but I will say, fun fact, this discovery was made on board the shipboard science immersion that we lead with the Seagull.
Yes.
The Seagull group.
Interesting. So here's the question. Do we want to promote our awesome shipboard science work? Or do we want, something that's maybe a little bit fun?
I mean, I like the goo.
Let's go fun. I want goo.
We're going goo.
Congratulations.
This year of all years. Ship Goo 001.
Congratulations.
Yeah. It's so funny that it's 00 because they're like, we're probably going to find not only another one, but potentially 999 more.
Yeah, that's the thing. But only
3 digits worth.
Yeah, and after that, it's like Y2K at that point. It's like the goo's going to reset itself.
Excellent. Coolest thing that you learned listening to
Where's
teach
the
me
envelope?
I feel like the envelope got...
Well, you already started it, so...
So I feel like we could just smoothly move past it and pretend it didn't happen.
No, I'm a prop work guy. I'm a prop work guy.
All right. Well, maybe you should find a job in Foley artistry.
That's you opening that. That's you opening the envelope.
Sorry, Sandy.
No, come on. That's really good. You can just double that. All right. Sorry,
Johnny Carson used to do that. You know, they had the amazing... what was the name of the character?
the thing where he would...
Yeah, but I liked Kreskin. No, Kreskin was the mentalist guy who bent spoons. What was the Johnny Carson? It doesn't matter. But he would always rip the corner of the envelope and then blow in it. I always loved that. It does it the same way every time. Yeah. All right.
All right.
Coolest thing you learned listening to teach me about the Great Lakes this year. Now, Natty, since around this time last year, you were listening intensely as you got ready to interview for your job.
Yeah, every day.
Every day. And then since then, you love the show so much.
Yeah.
Every day.
What was my favorite?
Yeah, what's the coolest thing you learned? Yeah.
Groins.
Groins.
Yeah, well, this episode...
Tell me about your groins.
No jokes. This is important. Groin Fields, which was featured in episode 112, in which you guys interviewed Dr. Sarah Peterson, Dr. Hillary Glandon, both excellent specialists here at Illinois Indiana Sea Grant, discussed the effectiveness and the impact of man-made structures on coastal communities and coastal resilience. And I love this because this is a shameless bit of a self-promotion here, but I'm going to do it anyway. I was lucky enough to work with Sarah on her video series Shaping the Shoreline, in which we discussed a variety of different man-made structures and those same impacts I mentioned. And working on it was really a tremendous experience, learning about those things. And it was so cool to be able to listen to this episode and learn even more than I had learned just by working on that video series. I think the work that coastal program is doing is excellent, and I just was riveted by every word of this episode.
Riveted.
I'm ready.
Go for it.
I was trying to find the episode number. But our recent episode about the invasive species was my favorite of the nominations that were given. It was actually really fun to interview Elle and Brian and Katie and just find out all about like this self-cloning crayfish and all the weird things that...
That was episode 113.
113.
Spoiler alert, this is not fine. I couldn't make that one, but those are... Hold on now. That's got Elle Lower on it, Dr. Catfish, Katie O'Reilly, and Teach Me About the Great Lakes Hall of Famer, Brian Roth.
Yeah, it was incredible. They know a lot about invasive species, and
they got self-cloning crayfish.
And it's scary.
Yeah,
you only need one. It's gonna. It
takes two.
Not for these self-cloning crayfish. They were created to just spawn on their own, and they were for aquarium purposes. Okay. Yeah. And now, once they're released into the wild,
wait, I haven't heard this episode. Wait, so like literally, they I thought you were being,
yes.
I thought you were introducing a topic.
No, asexual reproduction, and they just go wild.
But they induced asexual reproduction.
Yeah.
Who's that?
The crayfish by themselves.
Oh, the crayfish.
Somebody created these
That's
crayfish.
What I mean.
Yeah, I don't know who.
Person did.
Yeah,
right, we got to go back and listen to this.
Okay.
Also,
I don't think that they talked about it in the episode.
This is the only other question, and we can talk about this later, that I love to think about. Do invasive species know that they are invasive?
No.
That's tough to think about.
No.
Anyway, Stuart, what about you?
I liked all of those. I also liked another one that was nominated by listeners is we got Dr. Jay Austin to talk to us about stratification of the lakes, which is an important process. So that was one of the coolest things that I learned this year because that's important to a course that we're planning in the summer.
Is it too much for me to ask what stratification is?
It is. You can go to teachmeaboutthegreatlakes.com/111 and learn it on your own. You must have missed that one and you're listening somehow. But essentially, the lakes turn over each year because of temperature changes. And so it's a really important physical process where the water in the bottom can well up and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And that's roughly what I know, other than what I learned from Jay Austin. But as I've told listeners many times before, it's really challenging for me to actually pay attention during these things because there's a lot going on. Anyway.
Who's the winner?
I mean, self-cloning crawfish is hard.
Yeah.
Or what do we call them here? Crayfish. Self-cloning
crawdads.
Crawdads.
Yeah.
You get a line. I'll get a pole. we'll go on down to the crawdad hole. Let's do it. Self-cloning
do it.
crawdads.
I agree. Congratulations.
Yep. All right. Next up, Nathaniel Shaw Morrison. Here I'm opening the letter. Science Podcast of the Year. I think it was Science Podcast. Was that the? Yeah. We used to try to go for multiple podcasts, but we got a lot of categories.
It got a little crazy.
We've been rolling. We're 45 minutes in, and we got. Well, I guess it's less than that because of all the stuff that poor Sandy is having to delete. Podcast of the Year, though, the listeners had a very strong recommendation. Most of the listeners wanted this Mr. Great Lakes. Go to MrGreatLakes.com, I believe. Jeff Cart.
Another excellent name.
Jeff Cart, you like it?
Jeff Cart it's such a strong name.
Okay.
A lot of listeners recommended Mr. Great Lakes.
I'll be honest, I don't know Mr. Great Lakes.
I don't either, but it seems like maybe we should know him or meet him, bring him on as a guest.
I agree. We should look into that. So that is the strong reader recommendation. Natty, did you go a different way, or are you going with the readers on this one? Listeners.
I did go a different way. As much as I did see Mr. Great Lakes, I decided to go with the Everyday Environment Podcast from Illinois Extension. We had a lot of specialists from Illinois Indiana Sea Grant who joined, and there were also a lot of other great guests as well. The podcast is really informative, really fun, very just super listenable. I really found myself enjoying and listening to a lot of it. I think Sarah Zach was on there. I think we had, I believe Eliana Brown was on there. I could give shout outs galore, but in general, I just thought that it really was a very engaging and it's one of those podcasts where you listen to it and it's like you're hanging out with your friends.
It is,
and I also did not listen to Mr. Great Lakes.
No,
so I cannot in good conscience vote on that.
Okay,
but I will for the great of the good. Yeah. What is there? Did everybody else pick anything else?
No, I was going with Mr. Great Lakes just because of the comments that I read from our contributors.
Yep.
Like Mr. Great Lakes does the environment report, their weekly 2 to 4 minute updates, which I like. I like our podcast too, but 2 to 4 minutes, right? I can drive in the car and get here to campus. Yeah. He does updates on water quality and wildlife and climate issues, and it's something for everyone, whether you're a water advocate or a nature lover or a policy nerd, or someone just wants some quick information about the Great Lakes.
True. And then on the CBC, Canadian Broadcasting Corp, they release it, but it's Monsieur Great Lakes there.
Yeah. I like it. It's
Monsieur,
fancy.
Monsieur Great Lakes.
Yeah, or Lacs Great. Grand. There it is. Anyway, that's not true. None of that's true. One other one I want to toss out there. I agree. Mr. Great Lakes. You know what? We're going with the listeners. We'll take their strong recommendation. I just added it to my feed. I started listening again to this. I used to listen to this, a long time ago. A show called Gastropod, which right now is released by Eater. I think it's been in a few different places. I mean, I want to say I started listening to this 10 years ago or more. And I'd given it up, but I started again on Thanksgiving. And what they do, episode 1, 2014. And I remember listening back then. But they do a little bit of... It's a food podcast with people, but they do a little bit of science in there too, talking about the science of different things. I started listening to it again because they have this great episode from a while ago on cranberries. And we were driving to Thanksgiving, and we listened to their episode on cranberries, and they talk about cranberry bogs and like the flavor and the science behind the flavor of cranberries and stuff like that. And so Gastropod, hosted by, I will give you their names, Cynthia Graber and Nicola Twilley. Gastropod. Fun listen. But the Lakey goes to Mr. Great Lakes himself, Jeff Cart.
Yeah, MGL.
MGL.
Congratulations.
Congrats. All right, moving on. We got to roll.
MGL is like an inversion of
MLG. Yeah, I thought about that. The gun lover.
Whoa. stupid.
All right, now we're moving into the intense stuff. Now, enough messing around. We're in the big categories now. Great Lakes Animal of the Year. This one's always hot.
I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
Go for it. What you
I'm
got?
going with mud puppies.
Mud puppies.
I'm
Tell
going
me
with
about
mud
these
puppies. So mud puppies are a fully aquatic salamander. You can find them in the Great Lakes, and they're a bioindicator, which means if they go missing, that means something bad has happened to the water quality. So finding them is a really good sign. But they have a varied diet, and just like your shirt, they eat gobies. And so they are great to be in the water because they're preying on our invasive species. And they're also called water dogs because they make a barking sound.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Water dogs make a barking sound.
Mm-hmm.
What's it sound like?
Like a bark?
No, come on.
I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't say until making a bark like a dog.
Well, sure. When you phrase it like that, it does sound a little bit.
I mean, you're the one who said it. You're the one who said it. That's my impression of Paul McCartney. You're the one who said it.
And here's my impression of John Lennon. I said what I said, and it was wrong. Or it was taken wrong, and now it's all this.
Yeah.
All right.
Mud puppies.
The water dog.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Natty?
Oh, yeah, go for it.
No. I must be. I haven't been summoned yet. Both people must prompt me. I've only been prompted. Only half of me can speak. It's like I've had a stroke.
Okay.
Stuart.
Well, if you're torn, you should just.
Rip torn. Yeah,
Let's
torn
do stroke
and split.
humor. Thanks for that, Natty.
Go ahead. Stuart. I don't want to interrupt.
Yeah.
Please, I could do this all day. Please, no you. Well.
All right, my nominee,
Yes.
water dogs. Loved water dogs. I had Sea Rocket and Imani. Two piping plovers, Montrose Beach. Imani was, of course, the offspring of Monty and Rose,
Aww.
the hugely important piping plover nesting pair that were big celebrities on Montrose Beach in the Chicago area. We had on Monty and Rose related guests. We had a couple of episodes on that. Unfortunately, Monty and Rose, Natty, cover your ears, but they died. And but they had, in their last year, I believe, their last breeding season, they had Imani. And now Imani is returning to Montrose Beach every year and has started mating with Sea Rocket, which is an awesome name. And this year,
strong name,
yeah,
dude.
yeah, Sea Rocket is tight. They hatched 3 chicks this year.
Oh.
3 chicks this year at Montrose Beach. And that's a
they're
total of...
birds. They're really cute little
Yeah, oh,
birds.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You got to look. The title of our episode is Cotton Balls with Toothpicks Legs. Yeah. Yeah.
And they wear little ties to work.
Yeah. And that's they had.
That's so cute. I want to cry. I think I want to cry.
Yeah. Anyway, and there were 6 total chicks in the Chicagoland area. There were 3 also
That's
at
so exciting.
Waukegan this year. To Blaze and Pepper, another mating pair. So
love that.
that is my nominee.
Oh, I had chosen. Wait, summon me, please.
Natty.
Prompt me, both of you.
Natty, we're ready.
Maybe we cannot do that one anymore.
I have awakened. I originally had voted for Lake Whitefish because of how vital. I was just shook.
Yeah.
Absolutely shook by that story, and it feels like it would be wrong of me to not vote for them. But upon seeing a piping plover, a picture of a piping plover, which also sounds like a great kind of like tongue twister that an actor would do, like
Peter Piter painted a
like
picture
Oliver
of piping
Reed, you
plovers.
know, be like a pack of piping plovers. I can't even do it.
Yeah.
I can't even do it. An impression of Oliver Reed. Oliver Reed? Oliver Reed. I'm going to switch my vote and go with the piping plover because
Piping
it's just so cute. And I want to agree. I love agreeing.
Yeah.
But I'm split.
Okay. Yep. No.
You should look up mud puppies.
Okay. Let me look it up.
Yeah.
If we're going based on how cute things are.
Oh, right. Like a mud puppy's as cute as a piping plover.
All right.
And the listeners, the number one vote receiver among the listeners was this lake sturgeon, which I'm not sure what is notable about them, but they were nominated, I guess. So we should at least mention.
Are we
Yeah.
sure it wasn't the sturgeon themselves writing it in?
It's not clear. I'll be honest. So that was also. So I guess they can be a runner-up. That's fine.
Yeah.
Runner-up.
Puppies
Lake
are
sturgeon.
sort of cute. But I got to go with the piping plover.
Okay.
All right, also a runner-up. So the third runner-up, Lake Sturgeon. Second runner-up is Lake Sturgeon. First runner-up, Mud Puppies,
Mud
Water
puppies?
Dogs.
Yes.
And their winner
I'll
is going to be Sea Rocket and Imani, the piping
Yes.
plovers.
Oh, sorry. My bad to the whitefish. Sorry, guys.
There aren't many of them around to be offended. Anyway.
I feel like it's going to play during those we lost kind of.
All right, the in
montage.
memoriam. All right, Great Lakes non-animal of the year. Thank you, Natty. Non-animal of the year. To me, there's a very obvious nomination. Some of the listener ones. Hold on. Some of the listener ones include wild rice or manoomin. That's a good one. Boop boop badoo. The manoomin is a really interesting crop that's worth looking into if you don't know anything.
This
about
is
it.
wild rice, like the kind of rice that I might eat. Right?
It is, but most of what you might
Yeah.
eat is if you get like the Uncle Ben's, there's just a little bit of wild rice in there. But it's a crop that's raised by indigenous peoples up in Wisconsin, maybe in Minnesota. I don't know the full range. But Titus Seilheimer, who we might get to in a little while, he was on a manoomin project, and it's this really flavorful, interesting thing, and you can buy bags of it, directly from the people who produce it. But there's a cultural thing as well. It's really cool. We should have an episode about that. Let's see what else. Non-animal of the year, the Petoskey stones, which are cool.
I don't actually know what that is.
Yeah, Petoskey stones are like a rock and a fossil combined. It's like a certain type of coral or whatever and rock, and they during like glaciation, the ice packed it all down and creates these kind of cool stones that are characteristic of this area. A lot of times, I think up in like northwestern Michigan, not the UP, but the LP, I guess. Around like around the ring finger. You know how they love to do the glove thing. There's Petoskey stones, and I didn't heard about those until maybe a little farther south of that. But yeah, anyways, these really cool rocks. And then I believe Teach Me About the Great Lakes original co-host Hope Charters found one at one point.
Oh, cool.
And I was very pumped about that. Anyway, Petoskey stones, cool nomination. But to me, I think the one and the only for this one I think is appropriate for Great Lakes non-animal of the year. I had the Eddie Fitz.
Yeah.
Eddie Fitzgerald, 50th anniversary. Problem is that song has been stuck in my head for months and months. And I can't remember the name of the guy who wrote it. I can't. It's Gordon Lightfoot. Listener, I tried so hard to get him on the show. His publicist would not reply to me. And now it's unfortunately not a possibility. Anyway, 50th anniversary. Brought so much Great Lakes news out there. Not an animal, which is a key part of this category. So I nominate the Edmund Fitzgerald, specifically the shipwreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
I'm going to go with, because it is not an actual animal, but a representation of an animal, so I still think it counts, is Freshie the Frog.
Freshie the Frog. This was a listener nomination. Tell me about Freshie the Frog.
This was really cool.
I don't know this
So
thing.
Freshie the Frog is an environmental ambassador that shares tips on just everyday choices. So like using road salt, like we've talked about already, and how that impacts freshwater systems. You could follow Freshie for these hashtag salt smart reminders, and learn how small actions can make a really big difference. It's got an Instagram presence and a Facebook presence, and it's this cutest little thing. So that is my choice.
Excellent. Natty, did you have a recommendation?
I also voted for Freshie the Frog.
Freshie the Frog.
It was my first. I had heard of it. I don't think I really understood what it was until I took a look. And yeah, not only is it unbelievably adorable, but in my researching of it, it led me to a lot of just interesting other related materials and environmental issues involving like the snowplow salt and all that stuff, and what it does to our wetlands. So it is an ambassador that has an impact far beyond its tiny, cute little size.
Okay, so here's my argument for the Edmund Fitzgerald, and then we'll decide. My argument is that it's of the year, right? And if the Eddie Fitz is going to get a Lakey for being the non-animal of the year, like it's going to be during a big anniversary,
50th,
and the 50th is going to be the one.
Okay.
Whereas Freshie the Frog is doing good work, hopefully for years to come.
Yeah.
But that said, Edmund Fitzgerald doesn't care.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know. How do we want to go on this one?
I mean, I like the 50th. You've made a strong case for the 50th anniversary.
Sure, why not?
Eddie Fitz.
Eddie Fitz.
Congratulations.
Roll your eyes. We're agreeing with you.
I know, but I feel like it's false agreement.
It's not false agreement, but it's like I don't want to spend. I can sit here and argue with you all day. And you know what? I will. No,
We could also talk about beach class or
beach class.
coolers.
I thought you said beach class, and I was like, I didn't know there was a beach class.
I'd love to go to beach class.
I think
or fungi.
fungi.
Yeah.
Nah, we'll go. Edmund Fitzgerald, runner up.
Freshie the Frog.
Yes.
Congrats, Freshie.
Best new. It's kind of like a best new artist award.
Yeah. Stay tuned. This is a hot riser.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I got you. All right, now it's getting serious. Great Lakes Sandwich of the Year.
And it's good too because I have not eaten lunch and I'm very hungry.
Yeah. hungry. Natty, what was your Great
rookie
Lakes Sando
choice.
of the year, my man?
I will say that the ones that were submitted all made me very hungry. And my runner-up would just be somebody put fried perch sandwich. I love perch. It's so delicious. But the one that just sounded the most, also smoked whitefish on rye. Love that. But the one that just stood out to me the most was the Cuban sandwich at Ryan's on York in Manitowoc, Wisconsin. It just sounds killer. I looked up a picture of it. I looked up another picture of it. I downloaded some pictures of it. I just love it. It makes me want to eat a Cuban sandwich right now. Big vote.
Hometown of the Wisconsin Maritime Museum, and also Dr. Fish himself, Titus Seilheimer.
Oh, right. I bet he's had a few of those.
I imagine if we looked up the IP address on that nomination, we might see. We might see a cell phone in the middle of like Green Bay, because Titus is awesome.
Awesome.
That one is solid. I've got a nominee. Well, I've got one. I like that. I like another one. One I wanted to just point out, but it's not really in the Great Lakes. But the best sandwich I had in the last year was the Italian beef breakfast sandwich at Time Machine in Pittsburgh. I was at a wedding in Pittsburgh, not mine. And you go and you stand outside. It's like this cart, like on the street, and you have to wait a million hours while these hipsters in front of you get their sandwich, and your kids get increasingly irritated. But I don't live in a city like a big city anymore, and so that's an experience that you don't really have in West Lafayette. And another experience you don't really have in West Lafayette is a good sandwich. And so the old 1-2 there led me to really appreciate the Italian beef breakfast sandwich at Time Machine in Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh's pretty far from the lake.
Pennsylvania is part of the Great Lakes.
Pennsylvania is not really Pittsburgh. It's pretty far in the southwest.
This is
true. Anyway, I'm going to nominate that for a runner-up. Megan, what are you thinking?
So even though I'm not a meat eater, I'm going to go with the ham and cheese grinder on a pretzel bun from the Dunes Learning Center. I will say I have eaten a lot of food from the Dunes Learning Center, which is an education facility in the Northwest Indiana. Yeah, it's delicious. Everything they have there is delicious. So I can only imagine.
Oh, yeah, I was there, wasn't I?
You were there.
Yeah, shout out to the crew there, man. The
kitchen crew?
The kitchen crew was amazing. They made delicious food, made the whole experience great.
Breakfast,
you know what?
lunch,
I'm changing my
din.
vote to that because I didn't realize that was the same place.
Ham and cheese grinder.
I haven't had that one, but they make delicious food, so I vote for that.
Dunes Learning Center, critical place.
I think that's the winner.
Yeah. All right, there it is.
Congratulations.
All right. Looking at the clock. Donut of the year, Great Lakes Donut of the Year. So we have some nominations. I wanted to point out that West Lafayette finally got a pretty good donut place. Like, we've had Mary Lou Donuts, which is solid, but they've been sold. It's fine. What I like is their original place had a nice donut shop atmosphere. Like, it was kind of dingy, but it was the kind of thing where a bunch of farmers sit around a table.
Is that place closed now? Is that location closed?
No, I don't think it is. But anyway. But I know we have Panna Donuts, which the donuts are Panna.
I don't know.
Anyway, the donuts are good. The atmosphere stinks. So, like, you don't want to go and eat in. Like, donut shops, you got to have a nice atmosphere, man, so we want to eat there. But anyway, that's really outside of the Great Lakes, but that is one that I wanted to point out. Thank you for a nice donut shop here.
Absolutely. The one that I chose, this was submitted by our listener. There's a few, and I keep seeing more now. But I'm going to go with what made my mouth water, the sound of it, was the buttercream-filled Long John at Bakery on State in Wisconsin. Yes. In Manitowoc, Wisconsin.
Also in Manitowoc.
Also nominated by the exact same person who nominated the
Who knew what a food mecca Manitowoc, Wisconsin is.
I am getting all my information from one submission form, I will say that.
Yeah.
But, yes, delicious. Sounds
excellent.
I'm going to have to go with DB3 Donuts in Evanston. They allow you to say it with donuts, which I think is so sweet.
Yes.
You can make custom donut letters.
All right.
All the things that you could say. But are they tiny donuts? Or are they like regular size?
Did you go to the website?
I didn't.
Are there limits to what you can say with it? Because I think that
I'm sure.
I don't think it matters. Just give me giant boxes of donuts, and I'll put the words together myself.
Oh, I thought I see what you're saying. So
no.
Donuts are letters.
You and Natty were thinking different.
These look like regular sized donuts. I'm with it.
Yeah,
let's go with it.
All right,
great.
We're gonna
Big
say
happy
it with donuts.
birthday.
Let's say it with donuts.
We're gonna say it with donuts, and what we're gonna say is Lakies rule.
Lakies rule.
All right, excellent. Now we're into a couple of special categories. Next category: Great Lakes Craft of the Year. The Great Lakes Craft of the Year. And so that this year we have Dye Mad Yarns Great Lakes Collection.
Yes.
This is
Absolutely.
so cool.
Have you seen it? It's incredible.
Yep.
As a yarn lover myself, when I came across this, I knit.
Do you really?
I do knit. I knit in most of my meetings when I could be doing emails, but knitting seems like a better way to fidget.
Okay.
But they have these collections of like various colors for the different Great Lakes where you can make a product that is tied to whatever lake that you're focusing on. I think that's incredible.
Yep, and they even have one for the Eddie Fitz, I think, in anticipation of it being the Great Lakes Non-Animal of the Year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really cool.
They have a lot of different, now these are hipsters, so they call them colorways, but they have a lot of cool colorways, including the Edmund Fitzgerald. This really neat stuff. I'm not much of a knitter. In fact, I'm not at all a knitter, but this is really neat stuff.
Yeah, I thought that was incredible.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's my nominee for Great Lakes Craft of the Year.
I think they should be the winner.
I agree.
All right. And
Congratulations.
Now, yep. Now the category that everybody has been waiting for, the Great Lakes Titus of the Year. And this is where we talk about our friend, Dr. Fish himself, Titus Seilheimer. Let me tell you about Titus. Titus, he is a fisheries extension specialist with Wisconsin Sea Grant. Mm-hmm. He is the titular Dr. Fish of Ask Dr. Fish, one of two, also Dr. Catfish, Katie O'Reilly. And Titus is super hyper knowledgeable about all the fishes of the Great Lakes. He's very passionate about them. We're starting up Ask Dr. Fish again just in a month or two. So look for that live stream and then in your podcast feed. He's called in before from a boat on that show. He sent us all custom Ask Dr. Fish coasters that he got laser cut. He loves to record videos of fish spawning. And when I think about it, and he works on the Manuman Project and things like that. So when I think about somebody who is a passionate advocate for Great Lakes and Great Lakes science, nobody embodies that better than Titus Seilheimer, which is why he is the runner-up for this year's Great Lakes Titus of the Year.
And the winner.
The winner is Titus Manufacturing of Plymouth, Indiana. They offer water jet cutting, CNC plasma cutting, welding, forming, and fabrication to make OEM replacement parts, formed rings, material handling equipment, platforms, and more. You really should check out their Titus 2 grinder. That thing is a piece of machinery. And so this year's Great Lakes Titus of the Year, Titus Manufacturing, Plymouth, Indiana.
Let's go take a field trip.
Let's do it.
Congratulations.
Yeah. That's the Lakies, 2025. I'm so glad this year, to be semi-earnest for a moment, that we've been working for several years. We've had some personnel stuff. And we've been working for several years to try to find a way to make Teach Me About the Great Lakes sustainable again in terms of finding time to do the show. Because everybody's workload is going up, not down. But I think we finally found a way. And you see all the work that people have put in this year to make the show start to happen regularly again. And I'm so pumped about it. And I can't be more appreciative of the work that Carolyn, who couldn't make this particular episode, has done, the work that Sandy has done, Sandy Svoboda, the work that you've done, Megan and Natty, the work that you will do to make this show happen. It's the funnest thing we do. Yeah. I would say it's the best thing we do, but it's not. But it is the funnest thing we do. And so I just want to say thank you to the entire team for this was more of a half year, but a wonderful half year. We had the Lake House of Terror again. Season of Giving. We got the Lakies again. We're back, baby. Let's see if we can keep that momentum going up. And for all of you out there in listener land, I hope you have a lovely 2025 new year and an awesome start to 2026.
Whoop, whoop.
Unless, of course, this episode is released late, in which case I hope that you're having an awesome start to 2026. Teach Me About the Great Lakes is brought to you by the fine people at Illinois Indiana Sea Grant. We encourage you to check out the cool stuff we do at iiseagrant.org and at ILIN Sea Grant on Facebook, Blue Sky, and other social media.
Our senior producer is Carolyn Foley, and Teach Me About the Great Lakes is produced by Megan Lakelover-Gunn and Reenie Miles. Ethan Chitty is our associate producer and fixer, and our coordinating producer is Ava Hale. Our super fun podcast artwork is by Joel Davenport. The show is edited by Sandra Svoboda.
If you have a question or comment about the show, please email it to teachmeaboutthegreatlakes@gmail.com or leave a message on our hotline at 765-496-IISG or 4474. Or if you want, send us a postcard. We love postcards.
That's right. 195 Marsteller Street, West Lafayette, Indiana.
47907.
Thanks for listening. and keep grading those lakes.
You're right. I just thought about it. That's what got me.